Blue Ruin. What can I say about Blue Ruin that will do it justice? It was absolutely fantastic. It was incredible. I loved it. I loved it so much. And the reason even saw it was because of the trailer. A few months ago, it came out and it didn't reveal anything. And that's something very rare these days, where trailers don't spoil everything. So I was really impressed with it, and I became interested in it. It didn't reveal anything from the story. It didn't reveal any plot twist or anything like that. I didn't even know what it was about. I sort of figured it out as I watched it, and it made me love it even more, not knowing anything about it. And it's basically about Dwight, this guy who is estranged from his family, and he goes back to protect them when someone is released from prison that wants to hurt them. So, I mean, that's basically the story. Dwight is not a killer or anything like that. So, the movie becomes very brutal when he tries to be, and he gets into some really violent situations. But the violence wasn't unnecessary. It wasn't just there because it needed to be. It actually made me cringe a couple times, and I think that was well deserved. Um, and yeah, it all comes from the acting and the story. Honestly, the cinematography is good. It was nothing too interesting. It looked good. Everything looked good, and there were some good shots. And there's actually a whole sequence that was my favorite in the entire movie. Where, and I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm gonna be as vague as possible. Dwight is in this house, and people are trying to break in the house, and he knows it, and he's expecting it. And is this sort of sick Home Alone situation where you are on the edge of your seat, and that is solely based on the directing, because of the way the camera moves around the house and the way it's lit, where you just have a flashlight. And Dwight is so scared, and it's so good. It had me on the edge of my seat for like 5 minutes. It's a long sequence, and I couldn't wait to see what was gonna happen. And the next best part after the writing, I think, is Macon Blair, who is the main actor. I haven't seen him in anything else. This is the first time I saw him, and I was really, really impressed with him. I mean, he was just fantastic, and he completely, I don't know, disappeared into this role, and I believed him, and I believed, he wasn't menacing, but he was a guy that was trying to be menacing, which is the point. Um, and that worked for me perfectly, because the main character, he's not an assassin, he's not a killer, he's not violent at all, but he needs to be to protect his family, and he needs to learn how to take care of himself more. So he's scared of everything that's happening, but he goes ahead and does anyway. And it made me feel scared for him. It made me feel emotional for him. I wanted him to be okay. I wanted him to make it out alive. I wanted him to get revenge, and I wanted this to be over, and have a happy ending. But stories like these don't really have happy endings. Although I loved it. Um, I can't say there was a happy ending. I don't want to spoil it, but I can say there was the best thing ever, because it wasn't. There's always something sad about it. So yeah, I guess the writing was fantastic, and the acting was fantastic, and everything about it was great. It again, it just made me feel something. I don't even know what, but it got me into it. I was completely into it throughout the whole thing. I wanted to know what was going to happen. I was invested in these characters. I was emotional when they were emotional. And I love to see the relationship between them. Like I said, there isn't a lot of dialogue, but it doesn't matter. It's not about that at all. It's not about what they say, it's about what they don't. Um, And in order to do that, a movie needs to have strong acting, and it did. It was perfect. And yeah, I highly, highly recommend Blue Ruin. One of my favorite movies of the year. Fantastic, fantastic writing, fantastic acting. Everything about it is just worth it, and it's original, and it gets you on the edge of your seat. You wouldn't think that movie like this would, but it absolutely does. So give it a watch.